marking the ventilation fan. It's going to go in the floor here. The battery box ventilation is going in the floor of the battery box, and there's going to be forced air in and out of the battery box. Oops. So it's going to have plenty of airflow. I'm going to have air sucking through here continuously. There won't be any possibility for air to seep out if there's any gaps or seams, although I am going to silicone seal and fully seal off everything in here. Because of the continuous suction, there won't be any possibility of any explosive gases leaking out of here.
I didn't see it in your hidey hole there.
Okay. Hope this drill has the power for this. Don't think so. Nope, that's the end of that drill. Well, let's see if I can get it in there. Or at least this hole I can do. This might have to be done later. Got one piece out. I'm using a hole cutter to go through about 2 inches of material through the floor, and I'll put 4 holes in here, and that should be sufficient for the fan to blow the exhaust gases out of here. Well, here's my battery bank on the old camper, the old ugly camper. This was supposed to be very temporary, and it turned out to be a longer term temporary, but considering I'm taking it apart now, you could call it temporary. What do you think, TJ?
Yeah, it's temporary.
Well, anyway, I just disconnected 2 of the batteries. This is a battery bank, a 6-volt, 2 6-volt batteries connected as a 12-volt. I'm leaving 2 in place to run the camper for now. I'm taking 2 of these into the new RV to hook up to test my new system and check for fit and sizing of everything. I really hope I can get these in there now. So I've loosened these things, I just have to take them off. And I want to take these guys over there, try them out in the new box. TJ and I are wiring up the box today, hooking up the fans and ventilation system, and we're going to be running off 2 of the golf cart batteries for now, just as I said, to see how it works out. So we'll take these inside. I've got 1 battery in, and I did measure it wide enough. I have extra space in the sides. I intentionally wanted that. I've got extra space underneath, plenty of space this can slide under. So, you probably can't see that very well, the gap in there, but there's about, well, I can almost get my fingers through. And it's going to work out nicely. So the batteries can fit in here all the way across. There won't be any limitation on that. And I can run the terminal strips inside here. And I think it's going to be good. I'm going to go get the other battery in here and check it out for size. I've got 2 batteries in here, 2 of my new golf cart batteries sitting inside, and the measurements are amazingly good. I wanted a battery bank to fit in the cross beams here. Each battery bank fits in a cross beam. Well, I have space basically for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 battery banks. Now, granted, that cross beam is a little off, but the batteries can slide under. So it pretty much works out very well. So it's perfect. This battery box turned out just right. And again, there's plenty of space around the batteries for airflow, which was intentional as well. I want airflow around all the batteries in all directions to keep the temperature stable in here. and allow the fans, which are going to be one going out over here and one going in over here on the other end. The fan is going to flow in through the whole box and out through the floor here. So there'll be a continuous airflow, and warm air from the RV in winter will flow through, heating the batteries and keeping them comfy. And in summer, the cooler air in reverse will flow through, so they'll never be as overheated as they were outside my camper. So when I'm in the shade here or have the air conditioning running, the batteries can be actually cooling themselves. Now I've got these massive terminal connectors, compliments of Herb from Herbster Place. When he was over here for the visit, he gave me these nice things to connect my batteries with, so thank you, Herb. They are working out very well. This hole is burning through my batteries because it's 2 inches deep. This is my second charge on this drill, and I used up the last of the charge on the bigger drill. Each time I go through a layer in the floor, I have to take off the thing and knock out the center core. Take the core off by hand, and I can drill the next layer. Piece by piece. There's 3 3/4 inch layers in here to go through. And then a tiny bit of aluminum in the very bottom. But that's going to be the fan hole. It's almost done. Whoops. There it is. There's the hole for the fan. That's the battery vent. All done. Now I got to mount the fan and put the screen in the bottom. Alright, I just pulled out the inverter from the camper just because theoretical work, as you saw with my cigarette lighter in the water storage tank compartment, is not always a good way to go. So I've pulled out the inverter to physically check it out here, and I think it's right there next to this driver's seat. I think this is where it's going to go. Plus it sort of looks really cool, and I can see everything, and it's honestly no better place for it because it's a huge beast, and it also has to be open to the air to cool. So I think that's where it's going to go. And the driver's seat still spins freely. Unfortunately, when they designed this, it hits the window rather than anything else, which is dumb. It's crazy construction, but the driver's seat still swivels around and doesn't hit that in any way, shape, or form. So I think this is where it's going to be. Now, this changes things a little because I'm probably going to cut this is the top board, I have it laying on the floor. Probably going to cut a strip off this to fit right to the middle of this board here, and glue and screw it down so that I can screw the inverter onto that. And then I'll run an AC line straight out of here, come down through a little hole in here, in through the floor of the RV, and all the way back to the AC control box in the middle of the RV. So I think this is it. I think this is how it's going to be, and I can actually possibly shorten the wires at a future date when I wire this in. Well, future date like today or tomorrow, because now I have no power, no AC power in the camper out there. So now I have to move fast because my batteries were both on the charger when I disconnected the inverter. So there's an oops. So now I need to hook something up here quickly. Well, I used up my battery power on my hand tool, so I fired up the little Harbor Freight guy again. And look at this, guys. Gotta love the dollar store. I can't find my big carpenter square, so I got a dollar store square, which, although it's short, it does the job. I used the original hole that was in the floor of the RV and just drilled up through the floorboard of the battery box from underneath and ran a wire up that's going to plug into the inverter. Now what I'll do is put a plug on here and bend the wire at a 90-degree angle and go straight down underneath here and then down and under through the floor, and I'll show you where it comes out. Got the wire coming down, it comes through the floor in here, and now I'm going to run it under the RV up into the original AC control box. I'm going to have to drill a hole from inside over there as well, and then run the wire up properly underneath the RV. I've got this marine utility pump somebody sent me off YouTube, and TJ has plugged a garden hose into the big tank, our 275-gallon tote, and another garden hose is going into our little 30-gallon, and this is our hand washing tank. So TJ, here, I'll put this in here.
Let it run a little more.
TJ's going to purge the line because this is an old garden hose we just found. That's good, that's clean. Alright, we're going to fill this little water tank right here. And this is our hand washing tank. This is our little utility hand washing tank. And we're just going to get that because it's got a water faucet, and that gives us outdoor running water out here. It's pretty convenient.
So the hole that we're blowing out all the water out of.
What? Where? Oh shoot. Alright, hit it. Well, that's got some power. That thing sparks when it hits. We got water coming in?
Yeah.
Yep, there's water flowing in. So that's perfect. This is so much better. Running water out here in the forest. How's it feel?
Better than opening this thing and trying to get it to a constant stream.
Yeah, we were trying to do it by hand on that little valve out there, and that was a actually big valve on the big tank. It was a nightmare. And we like to use this little tank for hand washing and little utility work because it's got this little valve, and it's perfect for washing hands outside. Look at how fast that little pump is filling up this tank. Very good. That'll be actually half full in minutes. And that's all we want is about half full. It's also easy to use this for watering the chickens because you just pour it off into their water tank and it's just so much nicer. Still doing good?
Stop. Okay. Push. Okay, slow down. We're getting hooked up. Okay, pull.
Pull.
Push. Uh-oh.
What?
Nothing. We'll just try that. Come on.
Should I push?
Hold on.
We're running a new.
Definitely not.
We're running a new AC line through the floor, up through the RV to the inverter up front, and TJ's underneath the RV, stringing along through the frame and stuff. So quite a project. We've been at this for an hour. Now I have an AC line going through the floor. Right now it's running out the window. I have to cut the extra off and wire it into the distribution block here, which goes into the main control box. Now that runs up through the front of the RV and it's going to my inverter. I still have the inverter inside here until I get the wires hooked up. I'm going to wire this, drill it through here, wired up to a plug, and have this permanently plugged in here. When I'm ready, it'll be permanently plugged in, and that of course will provide hot to all of the circuits in the RV. Got the Harbor Freight generator running, wire running inside the RV. plugged into my new homemade wire. Now what I've done is I made a AC plug. Now I've got this going to the extension cord to the generator because I do not want to blow up my beautiful, nice inverter. And I've ran a wire through the box. This is now glued and sealed on. And run it down through the floor. Actually, TJ was kind enough to run the wire all along the length of the RV. There's TJ looking over his work.
Oh, I'm sure nothing's smoking over here.
Yeah, I know. The wire runs up through the floor here and goes into the power distribution box, the AC box. Now, how this works is I have this plugged into the shore power plug. When somebody's at a campground, they plug in the line over there, and the power would come into here. If you turn on the generator, the power comes along this line. And I believe there's a switch that disengages the shore power when you kick on your generator and vice versa. Because when we powered up the generator, my generator, which is now hooked up to shore power, simulating my power inverter, we heard a click. Now I've turned on only the master AC breaker and the power receptacles. Coming over here to my AC light bulb, it's a power savings bulb, so it looks ugly. Plugged into the kitchen socket, and we have power. AC electricity in the old RV. What do you think? We've done it. We've got AC power. Now we hook up the inverter.
Yeah.
Which now I'm nervous because the Harbor Freight has a guarantee. Alright, we're running the AC off the inverter. This is plugged into the wall. This is my AC reading lamp plugged into the kitchen power plug. And we have AC light running off my batteries. So it works. We've got the bus bars in, strapped in place. And now we're going to hook up these big wires to the battery compartment up front so that we have some power into the battery box. Right now I took the golf cart batteries and put them back in the old camper so I can upload the video tonight and run power in there normally. Put my inverter back away, and I'm gonna hook up these batteries here though, just so the wires are there and everything's done and ready to roll. And then I will have power in here. It'll be DC power on these bus bars as needed. Well, I'm getting the wires ready to go into the battery box inside. I'm going to have these larger gauge wires running up to the battery box, which then runs back throughout the whole RV. And since I don't plan on reinventing the wheel, I feel that the RV is wired well enough, so I'm just going to tap into what already exists. And I'm using heat shrink tubing to make this professional. Now I need to find something to, excuse me. Can you do me a favor, hold that, stand to the side right there. Here, there you go, one way or another.
Not gonna hit my hand, are you?
Only once. Alright, sit still please.
I'm standing, how can I sit still?
Always a comedian.
Oh, wait until I start doing the comments, then you'll know I'm a comedian.
Hope you're funny rather than mean. Ow. I don't remember any comments from you from before. I remember talking to you. I don't remember any comments. Now, heat shrink tubing. Kids, don't do this at home. Nice looking connection there. Ow. Takes some time with a lighter, but it works. Meanwhile, the mosquitoes have discovered that I'm a good free dinner. Yeah. Looks good. So,
now, if you start getting electrocuted, should I save you or save the camera?
Oh, the lights are blinking inside. This is the main power. This is ground, right? Ah, thank you.
Oops, hold on.
That's ground. That's positive. I can't see anything in here. Negative, negative.
Are you sure that's ground?
Gonna know in a bit, won't we?
Not even funny.
There's one. Now the other one, might as well shut off the camera because that one isn't going to see. I've jumpered in the wire that goes into the battery box. This is just temporary. Later I'm going to have an AB switcher up here. And here's the other wire going to the positive line. I'm going to go in and make sure that there's power properly connected inside the battery box.
So should I test it like this?
Oh, if you could hold this in front of the camera. I'm going to turn this on.
Am I in focus?
And yes, it's perfect. We should have
positive
plus over here and minus over here. We've got 12.59. Now, TJ asked, well, how do I know if the poles are reversed? If you do it backwards with the digital meter, you get a minus voltage reading.
Huh.
Oddly, it's a different voltage.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? 12.19, which is more what the Harbor Freight thing is saying. Plus, minus, 12.5. And that is weird. But anyway, you can tell which way is plus and which way is minus with a digital voltmeter. So yes, we did wire our terminals up properly in here. And yes, you now may...
Okay. Positive?
Yeah, let me help you. Hold on, TJ wants to try the fan. I'll hold the fan in place.
Okay. We do positive over here.
Wants to make sure we have power.
And negative over here.
And, oh, that's got some serious power. That really pumps some air. Well, that's going to be a great... and
look how long it takes to spin down.
That's going to be awesome airflow for this. It'll be really good to pump the air out of here. Well, it was a good day of work today. We have accomplished much, I do believe. I feel good about it. We did get this battery box in here done. We did a lot of work here in the battery box, and pretty much that's all we concentrated on today was the electrical work inside the RV. The getting the hole drilled down in that floor tore through the batteries in my power tools because that was 2 inches with a real cheap hole saw. We got the bus bars hooked up. We got power to them. This is hot. This is live. And we've got the AC line hooked up and wired through the RV. Right now it's just to an extension cord for testing purposes, which did work. You saw it earlier. We did have the AC light going. We had wired up the onboard, the AC power into the onboard AC box, and that works well. So I mean, it's funny it takes a whole day to do that, but laying that wire was a serious job, and it is what it is. We got it done though.